Welcome back everyone, and to episode 37 of my 9 to 8 restoration project. For those of you that have not watched the channel before, there's 36 episodes before this one with me basically pulling apart this 9 to 8, trying to get it back on the road. I have zero mechanical knowledge. I've never done anything like this before. So hopefully some of it's going to be interesting as you see the sort of troubles I hit as I go along. But so far, we're solving them. So far. So last week you saw me starting to cut out the rust that I found in the front wheel arch. This week I'm going to continue doing that, trying to get it to a point that I can weld it. My friend who's going to do the welding and teach me how to weld hopefully is away for a week or so. So I'm going to have to do some other jobs to fill in. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to come off the car and be refurbished. So I'm going to do one of those, maybe two of those. We'll see where we go. Please remember to click the subscribe button to carry on following my journey. But for now, let's just jump into the video and see where we get up to. Okay, so since the last video, I've got feedback now on what I should do, which is really useful. What I'm going to do is basically cut a big rectangle out to join these two holes together. It also allows me just to sort of get rid of any, just in case, well, it's solid underneath, but either way. So this is going to come out as a rectangle, and then I'm going to template with cardboard. I have my cardboard on standby. A piece of metal that fits basically within. I'm going to drill a hole in it so I don't drop it inside and put a screw so I can sort of plug it in and out. And basically grind it down so it's pretty much a perfect fit, millimetre, half millimetre, something like that. I can hold it in place and then we'll spot weld it and then weld all the way around. That will sort out this this box section. Then I want to cut a bit more out up here. I'm still not happy with this. I just want to get a bit more out and see what's going on. It might be that I put a piece of metal under there like that as the first skin, and then do this one that comes over the top because it is rotten underneath. I need to sort of take a bit more out. But let's focus on this bit. Get that right. Get that templated. And I may even get that welded before we tackle the next bit. Right, that's the end result of my cutting. So it's a pretty good rectangle. Put my finger so you can see the sort of size. There were the two holes, one hole here, one hole here. I've taken out the bit in the middle and I've worked on it and made it basically a rectangle. What I'm going to do now is create a cardboard template, then put it onto my metal sheet, cut it out, grind it down, just keep sort of fitting in here to make sure it's about the right size, and then we'll look at tacking it in and welding it up properly. So that's a quick look at the template that I'm making up. It fits pretty much perfectly. It's dropped in the hole all the way around. I'm going to use that to basically put on top of the sheet metal and then cut the sheet metal out, and then we'll offer the sheet metal up and do sort of fine adjustment with the file or maybe the grinder, whatever is necessary. I probably won't have you can see like I've left a piece up that goes against the seam. That's really just on this paper template. I probably won't do that on the metal one, and just weld directly along here, the bottom of this, well, I suppose the bottom of the seam, so it's a much better, tighter fit. But I think that's looking quite good at the moment. Right, this is the first attempt with this plate. I templated with cardboard as you saw, and then I've loosely cut it out, purposely too big so I can slowly trim it down. It effectively goes like that. I've put a screw in, drilled and put a screw in because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to drop it in the hole and then not be able to get it out, but that gives me a little handle just to hold it. Right, so luckily it's still too big. So I'm going to get my marker and just mark off where to grind and slowly grind it down on the bench. Just keep trying it over and over again. I'm looking at the back there. I think I'm going to use a file and just file that a little bit. So I've marked up with a pen exactly where I want to trim. I don't know if you can see it there, just in green. It's just this very edge corner. I'm going to make this side fit and then slowly basically trim along, marking it up each time and trying it out. Let's just grind this off though and see if that fits better. Right, so after that trim up on this edge, that looks, that's a pretty decent fit. Now what we need to do is trim along the bottom. So if the plate fits like that there, if I just put loosely there, just drawing along what I want to trim. Let's go trim that bit off. So that'll sit something like that. So let's just get a registration mark. So we'll put a line there. And I'll key off of the original one for the other plate. So there's 2 lines so I know that I've got it in the right place. And now we just keep trimming it. So this needs more trimming here. So 1 plate complete. Now this one is much harder. So I've made this sort of template fairly roughly. I'm going to cut it out, and because it needs so much dressing, it needs sort of very much bending around the shape. I'm going to leave it a bit big and basically do most of the fitting in the metal. I just don't think it's going to be possible to do it in cardboard and work out exactly how it fits, because it's going to stretch as I bend it. So I've drawn it out here, cut it off the sheet. I'm going to now trim it up, and then we'll start trying to get it in and bend it around to the right shape. So let's cut this down. So with that piece in place there, oops, like that, I'm hoping this piece, which I'm sort of mid-bending now, will fit across all of it. And what I'm going to do is actually cut it so it welds onto this seam here, so it doesn't actually cover this part. It will just weld into the top there. Otherwise I'm worried that this is covering the other bit of metal, which can just sort of get moisture in. It's like that on the other side. The original is pretty much sort of that sort of sized. I've had to extend it out to cover the rust that's there, the hole. But I don't see any reason why I should cover the box section. So I'm going to basically bend along this line and then cut off about that low down and just tuck in with that seam. It's getting there. It needs a bit more bending. It's a complicated shape, as you can see. It's very, very twisted. I'm just going to keep going with that for the minute and just see if I can get it the right shape. Okay, slowly but surely we're getting there. So that's I'm not going to say it's my first attempt, so it's my first piece of metal, but I've been sort of fitting up quite a bit. I've just taken off this bottom bit to just kind of line up so I can check where I'll weld. It will basically be welded on there. It needs a bit more bending, so I need to bend this over a bit more. But it kind of goes in quite neatly, and it covers up the whole this side and that side. I don't like the fact that it's covering up anything, so I'm not going to, this won't be a lap, this will be a butt weld, so I'll probably take more out of this piece here. I've kind of left that there for the minute just because it allows me to sort of position it and stuff. But I'll probably, actually I might buzz it, yeah, I'll cut out of this rather than cut more of the car. I'm quite pleased with that though, that's definitely getting there. I'm going to bend this over a bit more. This side is pretty much formed. I mean, I'm going to cut more off, so I'm only doing the size of the hole, and I'll probably cut a little bit more out the car. I might leave a little bit extra actually, I know this side I've got a lot more to cut off here, but the jammer shape's pretty decent, I think. I think when we get that in, and whoops, let's pick it up, and the bottom bit welded in there like that, that'll be pretty decent repair. Yeah, quite happy with that. Okay, I'm going to carry on cutting this down, see if we can get it a bit neater. Right, hopefully this is visible. This is a little camera I've got on the like an endoscope that I've just pushed inside the box section. So I'm probably somewhere underneath the passenger seat now. I'm so far deep along. Slowly coming back. We're probably somewhere about the bulkhead, I guess, now. Right, that's it coming in. So there's a bit of surface rust there. A bit of surface rust there. That's probably where the water, I guess, has dribbled down from where I am at the moment. There's a drain hole there. There's lots of debris in there. So I might try and hoover out. I like that, that's pretty good. That's like a little, basically a camera on a stick like this, linked up to my iPhone. And lets you look in all the little holes. Pretty good. Right, a slight change in tempo. While I'm waiting for the welding, I want to get the headlights out, or more specifically this bar, to get it powder coated. So I'm just looking. Previously I've disconnected these 4 bolts, and I had kind of hoped it would just pull out, but it didn't seem to, so actually looking at it, I've also disconnected the mechanism onto the motor, so that probably helps it a little bit. From what I read, you just undo here and then the whole light sort of rotates and this comes in that direction and comes clear. But I'm struggling to get mine to rotate much further. I'll keep at it for a minute, but just sort of refer to some of the articles again. Very briefly, because the camera battery is flat. So in the end I took the strap off of this, moved this out the way, and then this whole bar can come towards the front of the car, which allows it to decouple from there, and then you just slide it out the other side. So that now is off the car. I'm going to send that for the powder coating. That should come up pretty sweet. I'll also do the bracket that was holding on this water, whatever, probably headlight washers. I might as well do that while that's off. And any other brackets I can see. I'm also going to test the. I'll just turn you around. That's better. I'm also going to test the headlight motor, which I can just put on a battery and just check that still works. I need to take the headlights out anyway because I've got the new lenses for them, and we'll clean those up while they're off the car. Yeah, we'll have a little look here and just see what else needs tidying up. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. It's covered in red spray from when I did the suspension. Okay. Right, so with that central bar taken out, I actually wrestled for some time trying to get this headlight out from underneath, but it doesn't fit. So what I believe I need to do is take off the actual headlight itself, which will then reduce the size of it, and I can pull it out from underneath. The bar it sits on, actually I still don't think that's going to go through, but we'll try. The bar it sits on stops it threading out that way through the wing, but let's take this off and see if it will fit now. So this is the view from underneath, and when I've tried, this is the central bar it sits on. It goes off that way into the engine, like across the front of the engine bay. It's impossible to sort of thread this out. There's not enough room over this side. So with the glass off, hopefully that'll be able to come out, but there's something here stopping it, which I'm just going to investigate, see if I can work out what it is. With these 2 nuts undone here, the whole assembly does indeed slide out, but I'm struggling with the wires here. So they connect directly into the wiring loom, which comes here, straight through the wing there and into the back of the light. I don't know if mine's been modified or adjusted or whatever. There's obviously a connector here these wires here came straight from the loom straight into the thingammy, into the actual headlight with a clip on the end, which you might just be able to see down there. There's no way of threading that back, so what I've had to do is actually snip the wires here, since it's already broken anyway, and that allowed me then to take the headlight away. But in future I'll have to sort of renew this and put a proper connector on here. It'd be nice to actually have a proper, you know, automotive connector there. Now while I'm doing the headlights, I want to have the motor out as well. I know the motor works because it actually still moves the headlights up and down. But I think take it out, its top sort of protective rubber cap thing is completely corroded. The wires are pretty shot, so I think just taking it off, servicing it and putting it back on is a good thing to do while we're here. Let's have a little look. So there's 3 bolts on the side here. There's 1. And I think we'll just take those out, and then I believe the whole motor just drops away then. Let's see what we've got. 2. The last one. So I'm pretty sure it works. There's like a triangular sort of gasket that goes on there for some reason. I assume this will just pull out. There we go. Right, so it's heavily wrapped in insulation tape. So clearly it's been subject to a bit of water. I would assume that the actual sort of rubber housing grommet thing that goes on here looks like it's been cut away and they've replaced it with electrical tape. So let's unplug. I've taken a photo of the connection so I know which way around it goes. Let's unplug her and we'll go give her a clean up, take all that tape off, see what's underneath. Possibly we can buy a new one of these sort of rubber seals, what you're going to call it, and just basically see what's going on in there. In terms of corrosion, there's nothing here, which is good. Just have a little look what we've got. Just the wiring loom goes off, but otherwise it looks pretty healthy, so that's okay. Let's cut this apart then and see what's hiding underneath all this electrical tape. I'm not sure if it's easy to tell what it is, but this is the bit that this goes into the lower control arm, and there's sort of a hook here which I assume is a tow hook. So I want to take this off completely and get that powder coated. There's one either side, but they're one of the last parts of the sort of under front that could do with tidying up. So that's it, all the headlight bits are off now. I've got the 2 headlight actual units here. I'm not going to get these powder coated because there's a lot of plastic that'll get damaged, so I'm going to just scrape those down and paint those up with some rust preventer. I've got the main bar off, which was the reason I wanted to get the whole thing apart in the first place. I'm going to take that over to the powder coater now, and I've taken a few other bits off to sort of go with it. I've got these 2, I guess they're tow hooks. They connect to the lower control arm, so they'll go over. There's a number of brackets, some bits and bobs here, and then there's this, I think this is the aircon pump housing. I think that's where it is. If not, it's on the other side, but this needs powder coating as well and tidying up. And then the last thing is these 2 headlights. Now, if you remember, I bought some new headlights because in my view these are just not worth trying to save. I think I paid £140 for the virtually new headlights. These, it probably cost more to recondition these, so these I'm just going to stick on eBay. Maybe someone will want those. But that's basically it. We've got that stripped down. I'm trying to arrange when my friend can come over and we can start looking at this welding work. Hoping we can get that done at the weekend, so that'll be in the next video, certainly the beginning of it. But we'll just keep going with the welding. This is a good sort of distraction while I'm waiting for that to move on. But let's wrap up the video there. As ever, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, click the like button, and I'll see you next week.